Damon.
What you doing here, Damon?
Hanging out, waiting. I'm waiting currently 15 minutes to see if I have a reaction to the COVID-19 vaccination.
All right, so you're here at the Adams County Fairground. They let clergy get their vaccinations today. Why did you get your vaccination, Damon?
I got my vaccination because Greg signed me up for it. And Greg signed me up for it because, well, I guess you'll have to explain why he signed me up for it. But the reason I went along with it is because it's about being part of the solution, right? We are currently facing a rather large problem, the continued presence of coronavirus and COVID-19 sickness. What do you call it? Illness, maybe. And the vaccination is part of being part of the solution to the problem. It's a loving act for your neighbors and for your strangers.
For your neighbors and for your strangers, yeah. Any concerns about getting the vaccine, Damon?
No.
Okay.
Would you like me to elaborate on that? No.
You know, the vaccine was developed by scientists. Can you tell us about the relationship between faith and science?
They inform one another. If folks are familiar with any of the things that I do, so a couple Sundays ago, I gave a sermon and I talked about how coldness doesn't exist. That coldness is actually just the absence of heat. That's a very scientific principle, but it has very theological effects for us, right? Now we talked about how what we're really lacking is warmth for others and warmth for ourselves, and we can add warmth to the world, and we don't have to be so afraid of coldness. Coldness doesn't exist, right? So that's just, I guess, an example of how science and faith inform one another.
Awesome. Anything else you want to say?
No.
There was one thing you said in a sermon about a month and a half ago about our call to take care of the sick.
Yeah.
And what did you say about that?
I believe I said, I'd have to go back and look at the manuscript. But I believe that I said is part of our call is to care for the sick. And sometimes we can actually care for the sick by preventing them from getting sick in the first place.
Yeah, and that's part of what this vaccine is about, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, thanks, Damon. Well, hi, Stephanie. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, I'm Pastor Stephanie Hayes from Grace United Methodist Church here in Hastings.
And you're here at the Adams County Fairground, and you just did what?
I just got my COVID shot.
All
Woohoo!
right. And what prompted you to want to get your COVID shot, Stephanie?
Yeah. For me, it means safety. For me, it means, and I'm gonna cry. It means I can visit my people. I can go into hospital rooms and not always feel worried if I'm going to carry something in or if I'm a carrier. Or I'm not so much worried about my health, but it means I can be the best pastor I can be to my people.
That's great. And how do you feel about the safety of the vaccine?
I feel super safe with the safety of the vaccine. Just following things and knowing how it kind of came about, I feel 100% safe with it.
And so part of the vaccine was developed by scientists. Talk to me about the relationship between science and faith.
Yeah. So in the United Methodist Church, we believe our faith is based on what we call the quadrilateral, which involves scripture, experience, tradition, and reason. And so our thoughts, our brains are beautiful gifts from God, and God works through science and medicine and Pfizer and Moderna. So I believe God works through science and medicine just as much as individual inspiration in our hearts.
Anything else you want to share?
No, this is great. Everybody get a vaccine when you're able to. Woohoo!
And this is Pastor Greg Allen-Pickett, and I also got my COVID vaccine today, and I'm also very excited about it. For me, this COVID vaccine means that I can help take care of my congregation. It means that I can also not worry about carrying this disease home to my family in the work that I do as a pastor in the community. In terms of the relationship between faith and science, God created us as beautiful humans and creatures with brains. And God has given us this gift of brains to use. And so I believe that God has instilled that in the scientists. And so really what the scientists come up with is ultimately a gift from God. I have no fears about taking this vaccine. I'm very excited to be able to do this so that I can continue to more effectively serve my community and we can all work towards health and safety. I pray that this vaccine is readily available to everyone soon. Thanks.